Hi, this is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle, and today we're going to review a couple of project reels that have come in over the course of the last few days, where I had the opportunity to go work on some reels during this holiday shortened week. And well, I thought I would preview them with you, show you which ones are here, which ones I plan to do the videos on. And if you'd like to see one that I don't plan to do the video on, then please leave that in the comments section. I'll be happy to try and do that video for you, time permitting. Well, the first box is actually a drop-off box, and the fella brought me in 5 reels, and he's done what I suggest to do when it's time at the end of the season to kind of wrap up your tackle, put it in storage for a little while, waiting for the cold weather to break. Go ahead and have those reels serviced. At that point, it's a good way to clean up all of the old debris and the dried greases and the like. It's also a good way to get it ready for next season, so that when the first runs start in the spring, well, you're ready to go and you're not worried about a reel that might jam or hasn't been serviced, or it might just be dirty, have old line on it, and so on. And well, that's what's the case here. I have 5 reels. And of those 5 reels, they're all very nice reels. They seem to be well taken care of. And the first one is a Cabo. It's a Quantum. It's a Cabo. It's the CSP 40 PTS. Just they're nice, smooth reels generally. This one feels like it needs a little bit of service, so I think I'm going to do a video on that if I do not have the Cabo in my video files. They're nice reels. The 40 size reel is a nice size reel. It's an intermediate reel. You can use it in deep lakes, rivers, and the like. You can use it from shore, and it fits that need. If you're going for surf casting, you want a 50 or a 60 size. If you're going primarily in the freshwater, shallower depths, you probably want a 20 or a 30. That 40 is the crossover reel, and a lot of times I get asked what's the first reel size I should buy, and of course a couple of clarifying questions. You want to know what type of fishing you're going to do and so on, but a lot of times I'll settle with the 40. I used to say the 50, that was pre-braid. Now the 40 has the same capacity as a monofilament sized 50, so you can use the 40 with the braid and fit an awful lot of scenarios. I think the Cabo initially sold in the $175 level. It's not a cheap reel, and it's the top of the line for a Quantum, and a nice reel all around. So if I don't have a video on that, I'm going to do that. Well, the next 2 up are Ambassadors. This is the 6600 C4. And I think whenever I look at an Ambassador, it's always important for me to see made in Sweden. I am not a fan of the later ones made in China. We've had a couple of videos where we've shown that those reels have a lot of plastic parts inside of them, and I'm just not that fan. So I like to see made in Sweden as a kind of an indication that the reel is a solid reel. Again, these are not inexpensive reels either. I think these are in that same range, that $150, $200 range for an individual's. He's got 2. One, he's got the braided line on. He said that, well, he had just lined this up, so he wasn't going to take that off. He said the other one was older braid, so he wanted to remove that. Other than a few cosmetic scratches and the like, the reel is very nice. And this is unusual for somebody. It's unusual that they have both the right and the left-handed side reels. They're usually fixed on one or the other. In this case, we have the 5501 C3. It's a lefty, so that means that you crank it with your left hand. Very smooth reels, again made in Sweden. And I think I may have done one of these. If I didn't, again, I will search my library, and I'll try to add those, time permitting. And of course, if you have a desire to see one of those, well, I will either direct you from my library, or I'll try and do it myself, one way or the other. Okay, this one comes in from Ohio, and let's see what we have in this package here. I only got 3 packages. That's nice. It is the holiday week. I'm not real crazy about spending all of my holiday in the shop, so we'll see what we can do here. So I got contacted on these. This is an interesting set here. They said that their grandfather had some old reels, and they were looking to have them serviced and repaired. I think there's going to be 5 or 6 of them in here. I'm going to do as many of these as I can. The technologies really didn't change between reels, and a lot of times these reels were made by one company and just had different companies' branding on it. So I got a little bit of work to do in terms of whose that is and so on. But this one, the first one up, is a Hibbard, Hibbard. Sometimes those are the names of hardware stores or sporting goods stores and the like. They have these nice little jeweled caps on both sides of it. And the line guide's not moving, and the line guide is also out of the track. So we're going to have to see if that's something that can be repaired there, or if we have a broken pawl. If we do, it kind of looks like we probably have a broken pawl, because this thing here just looks kind of really beat up and wrenched. So I don't know how far I'm going to be able to get with that. Next one up, well, this is one of those typical no-name ones. This is actually made in Japan. So this is a later one. You can just feel the difference. This one probably weighs, I don't know, half a pound. This one probably weighs nothing. It's got an aluminum base. This is typically what you would find on some of the 1960s and 70s pre-sold bait casters that weren't very expensive. We'll see what we can do with that one. We should be able to get it running somehow, some way. And then we have another non-entity here. And this one's missing the jewel cap. So I don't know what we can do about this one. This has the anti-backlash feature. That's a fun feature. Say that 3 times fast. I can't see a marking on here that says whose it is, but these are always fun. South Bend had one of these. It's a little lever that was able to put pressure on it to stop the backlash at some point. Oh, I have a couple of these laying around. These are fun. No clicker. But otherwise, I guess by today's standards, we would probably call these crappie reels. And then we have a little green one here. So I don't know what I'm going to be able to do with these other than try and get them going again. These are memories. I don't think they're intended to be fished. This is another one of those Japanese reels. And just kind of give them a tune up there, see what we can do. This one's an interesting one. This is a Shakespeare. It's a Shakespeare Precision. I don't see the dating on it. This one probably is the one that grandfather fished with more than any, I would think. This is, I've seen one of these. I think this is from the 1930s, maybe 20s or 30s. It's a very old reel. It has these little bars here that actually are the screws for holding the side plate on. You got to turn them. You got the 3 side plate screws there, and then they are threaded into this case on this side. That's a very interesting reel. Looks like it has something of a bent frame to it, or maybe one of these isn't tightened. Yeah, this one's not sitting in properly. You can see that there's a shoulder here. Well, I think we can see that. We'd have to do some work on this one. See, but I told them I would do the best I could with them, and I guess the best that I can do maybe is just to ensure that they kind of crank around a little bit, kind of memories of the past, and preservation of a family history. All right. Well, this one comes in from North Carolina. And this is the 3rd of the 3 boxes that I've received. So we're going to kind of go along with what we got here. And it looks like a single reel. So let's see what pleasures await. Sometimes I get contacted from the folks and they tell me, I was working on a reel, or it's my father's reel, a little bit of a backstory. Sometimes I get a little bit less information. This is a Penn reel. It's the 140L if it's what's in the box, which is the Squitter. This one's in beautiful condition. Made in the USA, I believe. Yeah, made in the USA. Darn near new. Right? Probably one of the last. That's got an Angry Bearing in it. So what I'm going to say is that this probably has just had all of the greases and oils sucked out of it. The 140 Squitter has this one single screw take-apart side plate. Well, in this case, we don't have an anti-reverse either, do we? No. So I think maybe that's the issue here, is that the anti-reverse has is not working. This is your anti-reverse override, but even when you override it, it's not working. So we're going to have to go solve that one. Beautiful reel, and we'll make certain to get that reel back together again and get that back to North Carolina to go do some fishing. All right, well that's kind of a look to it, and like I said, some of these should be good videos. Maybe that Quantum Cabo, and I'll take a look on that left-handed Squidder, left-handed Abu Ambassador. But if I have those in my library, and if you're interested in seeing those, I can simply point you to that and get you started on servicing your reels. So if you want to see all of these, or you want to see when they're posted, please go to the notification button, hit that, hit subscribe, and you'll be able to get an opportunity to see what I'm working on, and you can make a selection as to whether that's a reel you want to see how to service or learn more about, or maybe just simply tune up to get yourself going for next season. So to all of our first responders and essential personnel, thank you for all it is that you do. To everyone, please stay safe, stay well, and stay watching. This is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle. Have a great day.